welcome back to the channel. We got exciting news. We have new babies. I think I mentioned before, but we ended up getting the new babies from a local hatchery. We just really tried to prioritize getting our new chicks from somebody local this year instead of ordering them in the mail. I didn't think that would be very helpful. And I've also had a lot of issues with shipping this year. I really didn't want to risk them not arriving safely. So we decided to go with a responsible local person who is licensed. It worked out really well. We're super happy with the new babies, and we're gonna try to introduce them to Dolly today, our hen. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. All right, I'll just be dirty. Can you hear me over the wiggly dog? My husband reminded me that I'm doing a terrible job of updating you guys on what's going on with the garden. I'm gonna try my best to show you what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm gonna put these dahlias that I got in here. Oh. All right. I guess you want to move this one. Just trying not to get like super nasty. That's why I didn't record, because I've been rolling in the mud all day like a wild animal. It's much more fun that way. Hi, girly. Can I plant you? You think you would grow? Ugh. Nope. Still little. Ugh. I always have a color palette that I like the most, but I really had to pick these because some of them were rotten. Most of them were. These are Vancouver. No, don't eat that. Those tomatoes look happier today. I don't know about that one. I like these here, and I thought about doing, ow. Like 2 and 2. Because they won't get very tall, but then you won't really see the ones on the other side very often. I don't know if I should do just 2 on this side and then do the other 2 somewhere else. I've spent all day with you. Cutting your hair, you followed me around, you've supervised. I thought about putting them up on top of the hill. I thought about putting them there and there. Like that looks more formal and that looks... I definitely think this looks better. What does it say here? This is a bolero rose. 3 to 4 high and 2 to 3 wide. I may spread that one out a little bit. You could get that, one of those arches from down there, and I could put that wisteria up there. That would be cute, wouldn't it? That won't be bad. Hey, Link. Will you run down there and get my purple glove?
I like these rocks, Mom.
Me too. I have not. You can. I know, it's nice, isn't it? Nobody? I know, it's like becoming its own little room over here, isn't it? I hope you can hear me. It's actually the day after. I don't normally vlog like this while I'm driving, but I'm going on a field trip with my son, which I don't think I want to record while I'm there just because I want to enjoy, you know, just being with him, having some fun. We are going to make a couple stops when we leave though, and because I have this new gimbal that works on my phone, he loves filming. Like, he really enjoys truly. So I think what I'm gonna do is we're gonna make a couple stops when we leave, and I'm gonna let him film just a little bit. I think we're gonna stop at a nursery maybe and pick up a couple things I need for the kitchen garden. So yeah, this video may turn out to be something a little bit unexpected, but I think it's gonna be fun, and maybe
Yep.
Get some money.
We're actually just pulling into the house. We made it back from the field trip. You can see the footage from the garden center, and I got a bunch of stuff, so I want to show you guys really quick what we got. And then I will probably be done filming for the day. I'll pick up again tomorrow. I've got a lot to do this afternoon, and we'll plant some of this stuff out, but I'll just show you guys what I got. Let's drag all this out. We'll set it over here, and then I'll just maybe set you guys up and show you. Whew, I'm in the sun. Okay, see if I can show you all this without being a total loser here. I've got a couple Echinacea purpura or purple coneflowers. These are native species. I've had these several times. They do really well. I've just, during the move, I only took some cuttings and I haven't had time to keep them alive, so let's see. I actually got, I guess I got 4 of those purple coneflowers. I got a couple larger foxgloves. These are the Dalmatian peach variety, and I like these. They are perennial, but not in like the normal sense of the word, because foxgloves only flower in their 2nd year of life, and then their 1st year of life is just foliage only. So if I plant these somewhere where I'm going to let them reseed, they'll seed out, and the new plants that form in the following spring won't make any babies. So I'll have to sequentially plant some a couple years in a row, and then in theory, if those reseed well, then I'll have babies. But these are 16 to 20 inches tall, and they say full sun, and yeah, they are poisonous, so don't eat these. Don't let your kids eat them. That's with any digitalis or foxglove. And then I got these 2 foxgloves as well. These are a Dalmatian mix foxglove. And this says they'll get 36 to 48 inches tall. And yeah, there's our perennial variety as well, but same thing. They'll reseed. Not really gonna bloom 2 years in a row. So I feel like that's kind of misleading. I also got a couple of white profusion buddleia or butterfly bushes. Sometimes butterfly bushes can be really wild and crazy looking. I like the white profusion because they have a really symmetrical growth habit. So when I've grown these before, they just make a nice rounded shrub. You can prune them back, let them get big, but they grow symmetrically, which is always nice in the landscape. And then I think that's all the flowers that I got. As far as food goes, I got a couple traditional yellow crookneck squash. I got a 6-pack of those. And I got a 6-pack of just regular burpless cucumbers. Doesn't tell a specific variety. I could have started these from seed, but it was only $3.99 for the 6-pack. The cucumbers actually have 2 plants per cell. So I got 12 cucumber plants for $3.99. That's more than enough, and a pack of seed is not much less than that. So they're just ready to go. And I think that's fine when the cost kind of weighs out in your time. If you can buy them and not be out a lot of money, then start them, or don't start them from seed, just buy plants. Tomatoes, I went with just a Beef Master slicing tomato. We already have a few dwarf tomatoes. I've got a couple like hybrid Romas and another like cherry tomato. And then I got a Sun Gold tomato, which is always a really big producer. So I got slicing tomatoes. So I got a Beef Master, a 6-pack of Beef Master tomatoes. I also got a 6-pack of habaneros. I love spicy food. I love hot peppers. So I will try my best to do some canning. I hope I can make some salsa. I've got a lot of cilantro started. Here's that Sun Gold. tomato. They always just produce so much for us. I got a jalapeno. Jalapeno plants also just produce a lot, so you don't need a lot. And then I got a poblano. I really like the flavor of a poblano. And the last two things I got were just some traditional chives. I want to add these into the herb beds. I just wanted to have some to be able to cut. We'll see how they do. And I need to do some reading on this because it says hardy perennial herb with mild onion taste. I know what chives are, but I was under the impression that I would have to replant these every year. So if I can add these to my herb beds and they just spread, that would be awesome. So like I said, I think I'm going to be done filming for the day. I've got baseball and kids to run around, so I'm going to pick back up tomorrow morning. I'll bring you with me when I plant all these out, and this week's video is just going to be a lot more of what I like to do, a lot more gardening and a lot more just, you know, relaxing home stuff, and it really just makes me happy. Also tomorrow morning, I will try my best to show y'all around just kind of the updates, things that are in bloom, and the changes to the landscape more in detail. I know in my last video, which was not really something that most of you probably enjoyed watching, it was just part of the story, so part of the big picture. But in my last video, I briefly showed you guys the changes along the back of the house. But there's a lot of things that I've got in pots and planted. Our wisteria is in bloom right now. And yeah, we've got a lot of veggies that I've started from seed that have come up. So we'll see you guys in the morning and show you around. It's gonna seem a little bit crazy, but I know I told you guys we were gonna plant all the stuff that I bought yesterday, this morning, but the flower shop needs a little bit of help. So I'm not sure what they need me to do. They asked me to come by and check on them. I may be delivering, and I may be, I don't know, answering the phones. I may make some things that may not need my help a whole lot at all, but they wanted me to come by and just see. They're a little bit short-handed this week. I'm not gonna go into all that, but I just wanted to let you know a little bit of a change of plans. Let's go with the flow this morning, and then hopefully we can make it home to plant that stuff this afternoon and give you a tour of how the garden looks right now. I have made it back from the flower shop, and we're gonna go ahead and get to work planting the stuff I got yesterday at the nursery. I've got a bunch of stuff that I have picked up the last couple weeks that I wanted to kind of show you at one time, but I don't want to do that right now. But there is one thing that I'm going to show y'all because I want to go ahead and put it in the garden. So hold on just a second. I think most of you have already seen the garden, and you've seen the couple like obelisk things that I have in a couple beds. But I'm going to put this in one of the beds, so I wanted to go ahead and show you guys this. Let me figure out if I want to change. I think I'm just going to leave this on. I don't think it's supposed to rain today, but it looks kind of rainy. We've also moved the chicks outside with Dolly. They're getting feathered a little bit, so we thought it would be safe. It's also been in the 90s, so it's been really warm outside. We've still got that brooder panel, that heater in there with them, so they'll be doing really well. But I did get a apron, so I think I'll put that on and then we'll head outside. I'm really bad about wiping my hands on my clothes, which is not the cutest habit in the world. So I've got this. Let me see if I can back it up just a little bit. Can you see? Just kind of pops over. It's linen. I did get this at H&M. I ordered it online when I ordered a few of my newer outfits recently, and I haven't even used it yet. Got just a bucket with some of my tools in here, and I've got just a little bit of rearranging and cleanup I need to do. So these couple beds were not really ready to be planted. Like I knew what I wanted to put in here, and it's been empty, so I've just kind of stuck random stuff in here. So I'm gonna kind of move all this around. I've got a rose cutting here and a hydrangea cutting that have rooted that I need to plant out. This is a cutting of Peggy Martin. I think I've heard a lot of people talk about that this year. Peggy is a great climber, really, really pretty blooms, and I think almost completely thornless, if not completely thornless. And then this is a cutting of one of my Annabelle hydrangeas. I'm not sure if you can see me really well, but I also have a few of my hand tools I wanted to show you guys. My aunt went on a trip recently and she brought these back for me. So I've already been using them, but really, really nice, heavyweight. I did have these in the studio. I just had them out here using them the other day. So yeah, I'm gonna move some things around. So that's Peggy Martin. That's gonna be super nice. Little climb. Can you see this? I did damage a few of those roots, but this is a cutting I took about maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe 4. Isn't that amazing? All those roots, can you see that? Free plants, you guys, free plants. I've got a few bunches of basil here, here, and here. Basil's really good for underplanting tomatoes just because it blocks out any weeds. And we're gonna start out now with a couple of our tomatoes. I guess the sun gold right here. I know I showed you guys this yesterday afternoon, but this is that tomato sun gold. Just really a ton of fruit you'll get from these. So when I plant a tomato, I know you hear a lot of things. I don't put anything crazy underneath the soil, but I do usually break off the bottom limbs and I plant it deeper. It's kind of like when I planted those apple trees and I cut the limbs off of them and they grew faster. They just recover better overall and they form roots. Just kind of gently break that up. I do have an organic fertilizer though I will add in. And just keep that label right there. The spring. And now we're gonna move over to the second bed. That escalated really quickly. If you see me in the next few minutes from the apron down, it kind of looks like from the front I don't have any pants on, but I do. It like hit me all of a sudden and the sun came out and the wind quit blowing and I was like, whew, can't breathe, it's hot. So yeah, I changed clothes really quickly. And I haven't really talked to y'all about this, but recording a lot of this process has made me realize is that I don't take enough time to really appreciate every stage for where we're at, which I'm in a hurry for a reason a lot of times, but then a lot of times I realize nothing is truly an emergency and I can take my time and enjoy this process. So I was running around, not even showing y'all what I was doing, and poor Clover was in her crate. And I decided that I would take a step back and take my time and show y'all what I'm doing, because I think that these videos in general will just be a lot more beneficial for you and for me if I take my time and really show y'all what I'm doing, because I also think that in my head, I feel like I'm taking the time to appreciate where we're at. But then I realize later on that I walk around all day and I don't eat and I don't get a drink of water. And yeah, I turn around and things are done and I don't really remember what the steps were. And, you know, looking back, you know, in 10 or 15 years at where this place started, I really want to remember this process because we're doing some things that's going to make a huge impact. Like this landscaping is really thought out and really layered, and when it matures, it is really going to be impressive. So I want to be able to take a look back one day and say, this is where we started, look how far we've come, and just really appreciate that. So bear with me because I'm learning to become a more patient person. So I think y'all are all pretty familiar with what you're looking at here. I guess it's been a couple months ago since I did that first video of kind of planting on this hillside, and it might not look quite so good at the moment. These phlox are kind of in between. They have spells where they'll be completely fully in bloom, and then they kind of all will die off at the same time. I have added some wave petunias. I'm not a huge annual person, but these will kind of help to fill in. And as I said before, really help with weed management. And then these are the bolero roses that I planted a couple days ago. They're doing really well. You can see all this new growth. It's kind of purpley looking. Pretty much all roses will have that purpley looking growth when they're putting out new growth. They get good airflow here, and I think they're going to do really well. I really want to flank both sides of this central area with a row of hydrangeas because we've made this path that goes to the chicken coop, and it would also help to block the view of the compost bins. So I have a few of them and I can move, and I think that's what I'm going to do really quick is just move a few of them over here in a row. I will want to add some to this other side, but I think I'm just going to make this side my priority. It's hot and I've got so much stuff to do, and I don't need to add something else to my list, but I think I'll be glad I did it. So, yeah, I create these messes myself. So yeah, we created a gravel pathway to go to the chicken coop, and I had to add in all those hydrangea shrubs that you see. So here's our fig right here in the middle. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hydrangea shrubs, all white. I don't do colored hydrangeas. I'm not completely against them. It's just, I'm really trying to anchor the landscape with a lot of then I can add in things as I want. But I like white. I feel like because I like a really layered look in the garden, really curated, or you might even say eclectic, but it kind of can look overdone easily. And so I really want to try to stick with a really calming color palette for the most part. I like a lot of whites, and I like light pinks. And then occasionally I'll throw in some purple, but I really try to keep it all really reined in. And then of course with annuals, like the pansies, we can add in some great yellow, brighter colors. But I try to steer clear of a lot of reds and a lot of oranges. It's just not really to my taste. And like I said before, because I like such a layered look, it would be easy for things to look a little bit trashy, maybe. So yeah, we still got all these things here to plant. We'll get to work. I'm really excited to have fresh produce again. I just didn't have time to garden a lot last year for anything. The renovation was really all consuming. I've got to move this. I can't just leave this over here. pretty bad about just having to see things before I can commit to a plan. Silly. So I've rearranged, I moved the artichoke, I bit the bullet. Okay, we got 4 beef masters and my 3 habanero plants in there. We've got our artichoke moved over here. I have all those. Now this bed is about to be empty. It's one thing about the difference between our garden at our old house and this garden is that I'm really having to figure out the sun and the exposure, because I don't know if any of you watch or follow Pretty in the Pines content. I'm pretty new to her stuff, so I don't know a whole lot about her, but I saw where she posted the other day that their new house has a lot of shade, and she decided to go ahead and try the garden, and that's what we did, and we had really great luck. But like the carrots, and I love carrots, and I'll figure out a way to grow them, but it may not be in these full sun beds. I may have to, like do a couple smaller beds on the other side. The greenhouse is going to end up going right here beside the kitchen garden, and I can't wait to be able to see this area from our bedroom. And we have a whole farm, we have tons of room, but I wanted this to be really special, kind of an extension of our living space. It's this kind of stuff that makes a house feel like home to us. So okay, so I have 2 empty beds, and everything else I think is how I want it to be. So I owe you guys an apology because today has really ran away from me, but I thought maybe I could give you guys just a really quick recap of what we did today, because I really need to wrap up this week's video. My lens is fogging up because it's so humid out here, but you can see this bed, and if you can see the stuff in the bed, like right here, that's fertilizer. You've got 4 beef master tomatoes, 3 habaneros in this bed. You can hear the baby chicks. That bed is currently empty. Hello, babes. We've got corn. We've just got a few small rows of corn. We've got cucumbers, just kind of along the chicken coop here. We've got 4 squash plants, and then my artichoke. Can you see? Okay. And this bed has the new, I still haven't taken the tag off, that new kind of trellis frame that I bought, and then I just put my foxgloves in here. I think these are probably my favorite flowers in the garden. This bed, try not to get my camera wet. We have the black-eyed peas, and then these are eggplants. Can you see those little eggplant seedlings? You can kind of see up on the hill here, everything's filling in. I know it's not perfect, but to have all these things so newly planted, I really think everything's looking really good. The hydrangeas that I moved today will just be kind of along this path going to the chicken coop. Ignore the shovel, sorry about that. in this bed. Can't really see them. Got a bunch of purple basil and then just a mixture of herbs and garlic in here. I might need to turn this drip off. I've got chives. I had 2 of those and I split them in half. Strawberries. I know this bed is too full, but I'm going to rearrange some things probably before next spring. I have a phenomenal lavender, and then there's a couple rhubarb over here. Here's the onions. This is a mixture between yellow, white, and purple onions. And then I have a jalapeno and a poblano in here. I know it's getting dark, but I just kind of hated that I didn't give y'all an update on what we did today. So thank y'all so much for watching this week's video. I can't wait to show you what comes next. Have a good rest of your week. Bye, guys.